Welcome to part 3 of the Bonneville Story event. Last part we figured out the story behind number 42 and why she never taken part in a tournament ever again. And in this part, I think it's probably Professor's turn to give the answer to Bonneville, who expects something different to hear. And let's see what it is. Racing together, stage 4. Without outside disturbance. Humming an old song as I race through the wind with you. The oasis outskirts. Bonneville stops by the roadside, gazing at a fork in the road she's never seen before. If it were usual times, she would be jumping in joy at her discovery, immediately turning towards a trail she is yet to blaze. But the red night today has no such spotlight inclination. Bonneville yawns as she reaches for another pebble to toss forward at the water. It was on a whim, but a perfectly controlled throw sent the pebble leaping forward upon the water, only stopping after quite some time. This sudden and unforeseen accomplishment makes Bonneville open her eyes wide. Hey! That was a new record for skips! Oh, did you see that too? She subconsciously reaches for a place more familiar to her by her side. But her hands find no purchase. Outright. She stands up as she parts the dust of her clothing. She wishes that the same could happen for the melancholy hanging onto her heart. At this very moment, the familiar sound of a motorcycle engine approaches from down the road, prompting a curious look about from the redhead. Professor? That's Professor saving the day! Bonneville, I was looking for you. Why are you on my other? Whatever, it's not a big deal. Shell told you I was here, right? What brings you to my secret racetrack, Professor? Bonneville leans on her bike, absent-mindedly pinching away at the rubber ducky on her bike. Bonneville? I'm challenging you to a motorcycle race. What? Oh, this is so professor-like. The rubber duck emits a screech as a doll suddenly applies force. Bonneville is blindsided by the proclamation, concealing her awkwardness with coughing and sarcastic remarks. Man, I didn't see that one coming. I thought the only option left at a time like this would be a confession. Professor, can you tell me why you're doing this? I paid a visit to Share before coming. Learned about your history as a 4-time champion before you came to Magracy. Ah, so you hear about when I was a driver? One correction. Former 4-time champion. As you can see, I have given up the ghost on racing. Bonneville tosses forth the remaining pebbles, allowing them to sink into their chilling depth. Professor, what makes your first reaction to challenge me? Wouldn't it be more normal to ask me for a signature or mock my current state? The Red Rider tries to wave off the challenge by obfuscating the topic, but the person before her slowly shakes their head, not intending to back down. Because there are some things I can only convey to you this way. Ah, what things exactly? If I say them now, you would most likely just scoff at it. Do allow me to hold onto them for a bit and keep it as a mystery, to be revealed during the race. Alright. Assuming that I'm actually interested in whatever you have got, Professor. You are serious about racing me? You should be more than aware of the difference between a human and a doll, right? Yes, I know that. I want to challenge you. Bonneville's interest is piqued. She looks the professors up and down, acknowledging their favor in their eyes. A doll against a human. It's been ages. Bonneville mounted her bike with a flip, tossing a helmet toward the professor. So, you agree? Yeah, sure. Beats tossing rocks into a pond here. She gets in a good stretch and gets to adjust her bike configuration in accordance with the road's circumstances. Speaking of which, how many times have you drifted in the motorcycle race before? 3 times? 5 times? I bet 0 times. 0 times. I'm not proud of it, but I can count on my hands the amount of times I have ridden a motorcycle. You don't even need hands to count it. Or maybe tournament, yeah. I asked Erika to teach me some driving techniques before I came here. I hope they come in useful. So your first opponent will be a former pro racing doll. Don't know whether to call you lucky or unlucky. But a race is a race. I have agreed, so I will honor it to the end. This fork in the road will be the starting point. After 1 lap around the lake, the first person to reach the oasis wins. As for the starting signal, yeah, the sound this duck makes will do. I will set a timer on it. Are those rules to your liking, Professor? Okay, no objection. She dons her helmet, kickstarting the beast underneath her again. It's not too late to ask me to go easy on you, Professor. I don't think I will. What? I don't think I will. I want a race that leaves no regrets. You said it, okay? Don't go crying to mama when you lose. The 2 motorcycles hum in unison, emotions billowing along with their riders. Quack! As the duck's call rings out, the 2 set off one behind the other, pacing after the horizon in the distance. Bonneville toots around somewhat, falling into her thoughts as she looks at the professor behind her. Even now, she could not find a reason why the professor put this challenge forward. She had thought that the professor would employ some stratagem or trick in the race, and made preparations to counteract whatever she might be met with. But the professor did nothing, even since the race began. They have only done one thing: trying to put those thoroughly practical techniques into practice to shorten the gap. Nothing more, nothing less. The professor is so sneaky. This abnormality made Bonneville uncomfortable. To get to the bottom of things, she let off the gap for a little, pausing at a small distance just in front of the professor. Professor! Can I ask you a question? It might be wild coming from me, but you should fulfill what you can, Professor. Before I left being a competitive doll behind, many humans driver challenged me. The results were never in the question. Even the finest human driver could not do anything other than lose by an entire lap. In other words, Professor, you have no chance of winning. Yeah, I know. No matter what I do to accelerate and struggle, if you get serious, I have no hope of winning this race. Yeah, that's realistically. I don't know what schemes or methods you have ready, but with such a shared difference in ability, none of that will matter. So, you should better give up. It's still early on. Don't waste time on meaningless things. The Red King flips up her faceplate as she looks toward the professor, trying to convince them to stop this boring race. The result is not what Bonneville imagined. The professor does not give up after hearing her words, still holding down the throttle, attempting to overtake her. What? Not willing to give up. Yeah, I still have something important to convey to you. You have got two things wrong. One, I don't have any schemes or plans on my sleeves. I just wanted to race you. Huh? How do you plan to win then? Are you going to yell something about dreams and friendship, then suddenly get awakening of potential to surpass me? Those things belong in comics books, not reality. And just like you said, I know all too well the difference between doll and a human. But even so, I don't want to give up. If not to win, then for... An agent roar interrupts Bonneville. Bonneville, there's more to competition than just winning or losing. Even knowing that I would lose, I want to give it everything I have and enjoy it to my fullest, just so I don't have any regrets. A familiar words pray away at Bonneville's locked away inner heart. She turns around, seeing the silhouette of an old friend projecting on the professor, still chasing after her. Terrible. While the doll is losing in thoughts, the professor accelerates, arriving at Bonneville's side, yelling out their ideals at her. One more thing you have got wrong about. I don't think this race is anything meaningless. Win or lose, it's not important to me. The meaning is that I seek in the moment, be with you on the track. What about you, Bonneville? What is it that you seek when you race? The doll sinks into silence, not knowing how to answer. I don't know, Professor. I gave up racing because I didn't know the answer to that. The old me racing itself was happiness. I could keep accelerating and accelerating, using my capabilities as a doll to the extreme. Honestly, I really enjoy the feeling of contending with the others' competitions. Bonneville nostalgia can be seen in her eyes. Passion burns within for but a moment, but its flame is soon extinguished by a great gale. But everything changed after that. I participated in the underground raids as I had before, but that sort of happiness was gone. It never came back. Money, flowers, fame, any amount of those could never fill the hole in my heart. Maybe it's just as Turbles say, the moment our consciousness are put together throughout those things. We wave goodbye to freedom, becoming merely puppets, strung up by capital in the game of profit. That's exactly why I gave up racing. There's no happiness to be found there for me. Someone who never tasted any freedom. So come on, Professor. Refute me. Refute this useful doll who is abandoning their duty. The smile the Red King squeezes out is full of self-deprecation and heritage. She waits to be reprimanded. That's the only way to stop past transgressions from being forgotten with time. No, I won't! Bonneville, you didn't do anything wrong with the temple situation. At the end of the day, there should not be any of those victories that are announced. What are you saying, Professor? Who else is to blame? Turbles died because I turned her down. If I just gave up fighting, let go, and let her have first place, everything would have turned out different. Bonneville lets go of the class, slowly accelerating. If only I just worked out what she really means with what she said. Figure out something was up with her, but I never thought that it would be life or death for her. If I simply threw the match and let her live on, she could have continued participating and contending with me on the track. Do you think she would have been willing to accept that? She might have been angry or repulsed, but that was the only she could have kept living. Bonneville screams into the wind with anguish. She suddenly accelerates, wanting to speed away from the misgivings of the past. But no matter how she turns or swirls, the figure behind her stays close to her, just like the friend she once had on the track. Oi, you wanna die, Professor? For a newbie like you, this speed is way too dangerous. None of that matter. If I can make you remember the original reason, I'm not backing down. The motorcycle rumbles and presses forward again, approaching the red figure ahead. Don't blemish Turble's resolve by handing over a hollow victory like that. In that last match, you give it everything you had and beat her fair and square. That's what she craves as a racer. What about you, Bonneville? Casting aside those constraints forced upon you by competition, for what do you compete on the track? Time and time again? Bonneville falls into a stupor as she stares at the professor next to her. The howling winds and drilling engines suddenly fades away. The only silence is left in this world within her mind. My original reason. Bonneville never really forgot what she raced for. As a racing doll, pursuing the extreme of speed has always been in her bones. It was why she drove and journeyed. But to say that out loud would to validate the hair that killed Turbo for the sake of such sentiment. So the glowing of a motorcycle tears apart the silence in the moment. Bonneville recognized its sound, the same sound that chases after her day and night back then. Turbo. That expression doesn't sit out for time champion. Seriously, where did our free-spirited meteor who only lives for speed go? Bonneville had a million words to gush out of the phantom before her, but they all whirled into apologies when they reached her lips. I'm sorry. Hey, why are you apologizing? In competition, a winner's apology is a slight upon the loser. Don't overthink their business with me so much. You are dumb as a pile of bricks. Whenever you fall out of your comfort zone, make every problem more complicated than it has to be. Right. Is that human chasing after you, the professor? Yeah. Why ask this all of a sudden? Just really wanted to know. I haven't seen your smile while on the back of a motorcycle in a good while, you know? Smile? She looks at the reflection of herself in the review mirror. Just as Turbo said, she finds herself smiling from her heart, enjoying this race against the professor. Looks like you have found someone who can run alongside you. Good. Very good. She pats Bonneville on the back, moving a pace with her. Keep going, champ. You are the only one among us to be free of your strings. A friend of all smiles as they pass on blessing and inspiration to those who are still alive, slowly fading away. You still got that annoying habit of forcing things on people. But I would not have it any other way. She turns toward the professor. The motorcycle will cry a declaration of war. Professor! I'm about to speed up. You think you are ready to keep up with me? Yeah, anytime. Not going to join in, Professor? You can change it if you are not a fan of this song. That's not the problem. It's just that I'm not in any state for that. Oh, my bad. I forgot you just threw up a few moments earlier. Who is the straits on me? Bonneville slows down again. I'm happy to have someone to ride with, but you have to take your own circumstances into account, Professor. Don't go pushing yourself. Racing like that puts a massive strain on the human body, and you are bound to feel unwell. Hold on for just a bit longer, and we will be back at the others soon. I didn't think you would go that fast before we got started. Speaking of it, what we will do with your other motorcycle? Just leave it there for now? We will retrieve it when we have the time on another day. It's more important to get you back to the oasis for treatment as soon as possible. Should I go a little faster? Please have mercy. Okay, you are the boss. I find a smile, long unseen, on the Red Knight's face. What is it? Are you staring because there's something on my face? No, I'm just having a moment. You have been at the oasis for so long, and I've only seen a smile from the bottom of your heart today. Bonneville, do you think you can enjoy racing again? Yeah, thanks to you. I had a little chat with a ghost of the past. I can finally enjoy the thrill of competition, like I did before again. You are just as interesting as I expected, Professor. That's good then. Looks like my efforts recently have not gone to waste. Bonneville scratches her head, concealing her embarrassment. She switches gears, slowing the motorcycle down again. Can I ask a bit of a weird question? Huh? What is it? Professor, have you thought much about the day when you bring us back to reality? I can come to an understanding of my past self, but I cannot forgive those humans who manipulated and expanded us like pieces. Me or Turbo, we were both just a means of making money. Even the fans that supported me quickly left after I gave up competition for a title of champion, looking for an alternative to use for their pastimes. Bonneville. Of course I know that there's both good and bad in humanity. And there are people like you who see us as equals. But if, and I mean if, you find way back to get to reality and lead us all out of Magracia, when that day comes, how should I confront the humans with ill intentions? Bonneville's voice is the steadier it's ever been, but her grip on the bike handlebars tightens. This doesn't sound like a question typical of you, with how loud and rowdy you are. Well, I bloody apologize for being the way I am. I did really think about this, though, and came up with nothing. If it was you, Professor, how would you answer that? When I first came to Magracia, I wished to send everyone back to reality safety. But after so long together, A sudden incoming call interrupts our conversation. Professor, where are you? I couldn't get through to you earlier, and I was worried if something had happened. It's dangerous to take a call while racing someone, so I turned it off just in case. Sorry if I worried you. Me and Bonneville have just about finished up our motorcycle race, and we are on the way back. A motorcycle race with Miss Bonneville? Meaning? It just as it sounds. Prof didn't do as well as me, but they didn't go bad for their first time racing. Don't just go on and compare me to someone who is a professionalist at this. Has anything happened? It's like you two are a lot more cordial. You know, just a bit of a heart-to-heart in competition, but I think I get why everyone is so fond of the professor here. Don't worry, I will fetch the professor right back. Before that, though, I will have to borrow them for a bit longer. Bye, okay? But wait! Bonneville hangs up before Persicalia is halfway throughout her words. Why would you hang up on her while she was in the middle of something? This will take a while to explain to Persicaria. You really have to ask? Of course, it's because I don't want to have anyone fight me for the time I have with you. This is a prize I have earned throughout a fair composition. Don't think I will just give it up. And like you said, Professor, it's dangerous to take Carl while driving. I'm following your advice, aren't I? You got me. Still hanging on in there, Professor? Any desire to puke? Yeah, a little better. Wait, why do you have such a nefarious look on your face? Because I have thought of something fun. With the operants left here, yeah, enough dash all the way to the office. Bonneville twists the handle, speeding up in an instant. Man, that speed was sure boring. Don't worry, I will pick a speed suitable for humans. Guarantee you won't puke. No, please don't. How naive you are, Professor. Once you are on a bike, you can't say no anymore. The red-haired doll grins as they accelerate, slicing throughout the wind towards a bright future. Oh man, what a awesome, what an awesome chapter. But we're still not done. We have our last chapter here. Ever onward. Bathe in the shining light and take a new step forward. Outer Oasis Plaza. The motorcycle bolts past its red-haired driver, stopping it with a tin, rushing towards the rearrangement meeting place. Oh, barely made it. What do you mean made it? You are half an hour late, Bonneville. Any later and I would have finished this book I have on hand. Oh, she's so cute, this doll. Look at her. Sorry, my bad. Didn't keep a good handle on how much time I spent driving with the professor. Bonneville produced a thin brown paper bag, handing it to Shale. Here, this is yours. Think of it as a compensation. Her expression, look how funny she looks. Man, I totally... Oh man, I want to Shale. What's the need to be so mysterious? This is Nora's new periodical. Sign 2. Yeah. Ran into a signing when I went to buy it. Got pretty lucky. Look at yourself, mistress. Stare at it any longer and your droll might reach the floor. Ooh, she's so funny. I like her expression. I really need to notice her. Shal immediately wipes at the corner of her mouth upon receiving that reminder, coughing as she refocuses on work. Considering the circumstances, I shall forgive you this time. Don't count on it happen again. Yeah, got it. Right. hit up the boss when you have time. Oh, the boss wants to talk to me? Crap. It can't be chewing me out for getting you to write my reports for me, right? Wait, the boss she means here, the Guardians boss. Never meet Guardians. Damn, there's so much stuff to this. I can't comment on that. Good luck, in any case. Bonneville feels an ill omen. She begins to inquire further. But Cher is also engrossed with the palm in her hands. Bonneville signs, turning around and punching a number into her terminal. Yo, long time no see, boss. Hey, this is the boss of Guardians that I don't know. Ah, Bonneville. How has others treated you recently? Not quite what I expected. Both the people and the roads here are, to my taste, pretty good, all things considered. Mission progress has been largely smooth too. Me and Shell will be going back to Arcadia in a few days. I will bring you a new souvenirs. No need to rush. If you are so inclined, stay a while more at the Oasis is fine too. Oh no, don't say me something is Arcadia bad happening. I can see the next chapter will be Arcadia chapter. Are you going to ask me about the professor, boss? I thought you wanted to talk to me because you want a report. Those things are obvious from your expression alone. Perhaps you have not noticed yourself, but from where I'm looking, your expression is a lot softer than what you wore when you set off. And the reports you submitted, ghost-written by Shane, are they not? The red had signs in an exaggerated manner. Man, nothing gets past you, boss. Reports and whatever are still a pain for me, you see. If you ask me to write one, I would have no idea what to put on there. Just speak what's on your mind, Bonneville. There's no need to think so much about it. How to put it? I don't really know how to express this, but the professor is for sure more interesting than I imagine. They work late into the night to prepare return presents. They study beforehand to compete with me. If it's anything related to a doll, they will give it every bit of effort. I think I get why everyone at the Oasis adores them as much as they do. You would give them a high rating then? Should have figured those rumors on the outside are not worth squat. But a reversal of attitude from me was within your realm of expectation too, right, boss? The person on the other end of the call responds with silence. I don't really know what you mean to do, but making someone no good at diplomacy, like me, to be a go-between with the Oasis was weird no matter how I look at it. Can't think of anything other than that you had some other plan in mind. Bonneville, you have always had a bad habit of making things complicated with how you process things. Maybe I saw the potential for being a negotiation in you and sent you on an assignment where you could improve those skills. Seriously? No, stop playing with me like that. Boss, you got the answer you were looking for? Yes, I think I might have to meet with the professor soon enough. Didn't see that one coming. I ought you would have sat and observed for a little more, like the original plan. Changes must be made, Bonneville. This world has no more access that I and the professor can squander in brooding away at each other. I understand. For Arcadia. Yes, for Arcadia. Damn, I'm getting goosebumps from this. What do they mean? But yeah, there's still a whole sector left, not left, but we have Sanctifiers, we have Oasis, we have Arcadia. Okay, and Shell? Man, she looks so good. I love her expressions. It looks just good. It's a nice chapter, what can I say? It's pretty normal for the character events. I don't know where they get all these ideas, but they always have some moral ideas to their doll chapters. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode or part. Maybe you will meet me right now in the bonus. I don't know if I separate them. However, I will thank you for watching, listening. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon. See you in more NeuroCloud later. One other day. I have no idea what I say in that. Take care.